Hello everybody. Oh my goodness. What a saga it has been, right? First of all, before I even go into the whole story of what happened with the car breaking down and everything, I just want to give especially big thanks, shout out to Rob, Tanya, Joanna and Sylvia for donating funds to make sure I got back on the road. So appreciative. Really mwah. Can't thank you guys enough. Like I'm always surprised, and I didn't want to ask for anything, but I'm always incredibly thankful and grateful for the fact that you guys help me out when I'm really kind of struggling, and that's, yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. And also shout out to Carolyn, Aussie Oddities and Vicky, who made donations via super thanks in the actual comments. I won't get those until next month with my YouTube payment, but every little bit helps roll me a little bit further, and I so appreciate it. So what ended up happening when I was broken down at the South Australian border, and the battery was testing fine, full charge, no problem, but then there's a solenoid just sort of separate from the battery, between the battery and the starter motor, and the power was going in but wasn't getting full power coming out. It was only getting about half the power coming out, which when I spoke to my mechanic, he was like, it's the solenoid, you know. So that's what I was hoping. But I know the price was more than it should have been. I was well aware of that, and after speaking to my mechanic, I was definitely aware of that. But I really was, they had me over a barrel, you know. They towed me there. So it's the same company that's the towing company who also runs the mechanic's workshop. So they've towed you there with a car that can't start, and he's saying on the phone, well, you're welcome to take it elsewhere. There's really not much you can do in a situation like that, because quite clearly I can't start it and drive it somewhere else, and they are the tow truck company. So got me captive in that regard, and I really just was too exhausted and just stressed out to argue the point with them. And even my mechanic sort of said, look, unfortunately in this fact you're just going to have to wear it, you know. It's not fair, but it is what it is. So that's how come that happened. I didn't explain it really in the stress of it all, the fact that the tow truck company was also the repairer. So what they had done was they had towed me into Broken Hill, and Jason was lovely. I've got no beef with him whatsoever. He was a great towie. But then he drove straight past the caravan park, and I said, hey mate, you know, maybe just drop me off here. And he's like, oh yeah, no, we can't do that. I'll drop you over here. And he ended up dropping my caravan on a vacant lot, like in a roundabout down the road from the repair place and the tow truck company. I didn't feel very good about having the caravan just sitting there. They're like, oh, it's perfectly safe, we do it all the time. I'm like, yeah, well, this is my whole life, you know. So that's when, you know, Kate had said, is there anything I can do to help? And she very kindly just came back straight away and towed me to the caravan park. RACV, roadside assistance. I always have top level roadside assistance that covers me for the car and the caravan. They were prepared to pay for the rental car, to, you know, that the tow truck company wanted me to hire a rental car, and they were saying like, oh, you know, it's not going to cost you anything. And I'm thinking, yeah, but it's the principle. I don't need a car. I just need to get my caravan to the caravan park. So yeah, that was what that was about. Like, why do I need a rental car? I was hoping it would only be like a day or two. So it ended up actually being 3 nights I stayed at the Broken Hill Tourist Park, and those 3 nights RACV, roadside assistance, bless their hearts, covered that cost of that accommodation, which was not cheap. It was like $55 a night, because the car they had to order the part from Adelaide. It arrived the next day. They worked on the car and fixed the car, but it wasn't ready until like 4 o'clock that afternoon. So quite clearly by then, you know, I wasn't going to hit the road then. So I had an extra night covered for me so that I could hit the road the next morning, which is what I did. I was really lucky at the Broken Hill Tourist Park, apart from the fact that the staff were amazing. It wasn't exactly the most scenic caravan park I've ever stayed at, but I had really nice neighbours, Warren and Sue, who were absolutely lovely, and we talked about things to see and do around the area and the things that I hadn't gotten around to doing. And one of them was to go to the Hart gallery, which I have really wanted, because Hart actually made that big black ant statue. He had a thing about ants. There's a lot of black ants in Hart's work, and I was really curious to find out what that was about. So while the mechanics were busy working on Effie, Warren and Sue, my lovely neighbours, actually drove me into the Pro Hart gallery and we went in together. Which is actually inside the house in Broken Hill that Pro Hart used to live in, and it was amazing. Oh wow. Pro Hart had a thing about ants apparently, and I've noticed, look, these ant, that looks like the one that bit me there, and in the little logo it's got little ants everywhere. There's the ant again. It's so cool. Ants on hats. There you go. When I asked the lady who worked at the gallery, she said that because he used to be a miner, so Pro Hart was an artist, but he was also a miner, and to him the ants represented miners just working, doing their job, going underground and getting the job done. So apparently that's where the ant thing came from, and why Broken Hill has a big ant, because of Pro Hart and the mines, and it all ties in to my hilarious story. But the one thing Pro Hart is probably most famous for to most Australians is for the hilarious Stainmaster carpet ads that he did.
Because Stainmaster resistance stains so well.
Fell in love with all those years ago. He was a humble man at heart. He loved his home, his family. He was a man who loved to paint.
It's so cool. I love the colours. This is the top level. It's like 3 layers of this house. And they give you a movie, guided to a movie. It tells you all about his life and everything. He was a miner, worked here at Broken Hill. But this one, this is so cool. Isn't that amazing? He did a recreation of this. It's actually on carpet. And the lady at the counter says that the original one was done on a church down the road carpet and nobody knows where the original went. And I said, I think that lady came and cleaned it up. It's like the full wall mural. That is stunning. Yeah, I actually like, out of all his stuff, this is the ones I like, is the kind of the people scene, the bush life type scene stuff with the people. Yeah, I love that. I just love to find out about what inspired people and where it comes from. Wow. It is just so many different techniques and styles and beautiful work. After buying myself a little souvenir tote bag, we walked across the road to check out his sculpture garden. And after that, we got the call that it was time to go pick up my Effie. Effie is fixed and ready to go. Awesome. So excited. Oh, there's my gal. Woohoo. This will be good. Oh man, it's hot. It's like 40 degrees today. It is so stinking hot. And the car's been sitting in the sun, so I'm dying. But anyway, let's test her out. Got my keys back. The moment of truth. Let's see how she goes. She should be fine because it's so hot. She's always been good on a hot start, so I don't think there'll be a problem. No problems there. Alright, might even go swing by and grab some petrol. But we're out of here. Oh my god, the steering wheel's piping hot. See ya, high race. Thank you. That was great. They got it done pretty quickly. So let's put my seatbelt on and get driving and go back to the caravan. The team's back together. Woohoo! This is the Broken Hill Tourist Park, they call it. This is the camp kitchen. The big TV and very nice. Smells good. Cooking facilities. It's not exactly like picturesque and outbacky like Silverton was. It just feels like a caravan park, really. But the facilities are amazing, and it is right in town. Check out these bathrooms. Very fancy, but the showers are the best. Look. Amazing, big, huge rain head shower, huge cubicles, all black, brand new. tiles, big changing area, shelves, hooks, all the things you like when you have a shower. Definitely gets the Lisa tick of approval as far as very nice bathrooms and caravan parks go. And here you've got a swimming pool. It's pretty nice with some sun lounges and a barbecue area where they do happy hour every day, which is probably about now they're doing happy hour. A jumping pillow, and that's the office over there. Oh, look at this amazing sunset. Oh, I'm gonna miss this place. Leaving tomorrow. Between the cellulitis infection and the hospital stay and Effie breaking down, I really started to wonder if maybe I was just supposed to stay forever in Broken Hill. And it was kind of tempting because it was bloody awesome. And it had so many services and facilities for an outback town, including an airport, that I was kind of tempted. And I did actually look up on realestate.com.au and just check out and see what sort of prices places were going for. Was pleasantly surprised. You can actually still buy a house in Broken Hill for 100 grand or even less. You'd have to do it up, but that's not a problem. It's worth it. And if you want a rental property, when I looked online, there were 17 properties for under $300 a week. And they were pretty cute. I would have lived in them. So there you go. If you're looking for affordable housing, and you don't mind living a bit more remote, then maybe consider Broken Hill. I certainly would. Let's try this again, shall we? South Australia, here we come. Big, huge thanks to my lovely neighbours here who've been just so kind and lovely. And thank you to this Broken Hill Tourist Park for looking after me as well, taking good care of me. Really lovely staff here. Really enjoyed my stay here, even though it was very short. Let's go. Sunday morning drive. A quick toodaloo to say goodbye to Warren and Sue. Second attempt to cross the South Australian border. We've made it this far and I'm super happy. Oh, I love this. Check it out. Rooty root root. I've got all the photos. I've got the evidence. We've had a drink of water. You don't want that anymore, do you, Pixie? Check that out. Save it for next time. Let's cross the border. Let's start a car that starts first go. Not exactly first go, but near enough. All right, let's go. Pixie and I have just had a wee break at the Manor Hill rest area. Very funky, very nice actually, very nice toilets, Manor Hill rest area. Appreciate that very much. And funky cool museum, hotel, shop over there. But I'm pretty keen to keep moving because I've got a lot of ground to cover today. It is so cool. And I'm just loving the scenery and the vastness of it all. I just keep looking left and right and onto the horizon and just I'm falling in love with this country. Finally, a country that I never really felt like was home. This whole journey has, it's made me really, really appreciate this land and feel actually really connected to it. And what a journey. Wow. I can't believe this. It's just blowing my mind all the time. So anyway, let's keep moving on and see what's next. Burra 202, that's where we're heading. Yoo-hoo! Oh, look, starting to see hills again and changing scenery. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I just love it, love it, love it. My next stop I'm really excited about because it's kind of like ties in the whole beginning of this trip and kind of end leg of this trip on our exploration of musical history and history of Australia. We went to the hotel where David Bowie had filmed the Let's Dance music video, which had its own cultural references, which became very apparent as this trip went along. And now our next stop is actually the house on the cover of the Midnight Oil album. It's near Burra, so I'm really hoping to get a photo with that as well. Music is a big part of my life, so, and David Bowie and Midnight Oil were both really, really, really big influences on me growing up. So yeah, this is kind of exciting. But first, I decided to go and check out the little ghost town of Tarawi.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Population 150. That's pretty little. Oh my goodness. How cool is this? Oh, I love it. This is so freaking cool. How amazing. I gotta turn that way so you can see. How cool is it? Wow. Oh, gorgeous. Really, really amazing. They've just preserved it so perfectly. I love it. Oh, wow. Oh, it's just spectacular, isn't it? Amazing. What a cool little town. Just worth just a very brief detour off the area highway, A32. Oh, wow. That's cool. I'm glad I did that. That was worth it. That was so fun. Thank you, Tarawi. I really, really liked that. That was really cool. Now we're going to get back on the highway. There is actually a petrol station right here too, and I was going to wait to Burra. Oh, I could probably wait to Burra. Do we wait to Burra or do we just fill up now? That's the question. Price is fairly good here, 203. 203, I don't know. Well, let's check prices. Quick check on the fuel app shows that even though it is 203.8 here for 98, it is 190, hang on, 193.9 at Burra, which is only 65k away. Let's go to Burra. We're going to Burra anyway. Cheaper petrol. Yay. so excited about this. Like, I'm looking out my caravan window directly at the Midnight Oil House. Life is awesome, isn't it? I'm so super excited about this right now. You have no idea. Like, this is this is the coolest thing. When I first did this trip all those years ago to get the caravan, I didn't know about the Midnight Oil House. But funny enough, I stopped at a random abandoned stone house that I actually passed just down the road there. And I was like, I remember stopping and scoping that little old house out, not knowing that the Midnight Oil House was just down the road. There's some moments, you know, in my road tripping life that I just think I truly am the luckiest person on the planet. Like, to have experienced amazing musical times, seen some amazing beautiful things, just, I don't know, I was really kind of funny about leaving the outback because I was so in love with it, but this sort of undulating velveteen green hills all around me, and getting to see this. Look at this! This is it! This is what it's all about, right? Magic moments. Honestly, I still keep bursting into tears every now and then, but only because I'm just so overwhelmed with gratitude. Like, I can't believe it. That, like, you know, this little teenager listening to Midnight Oil in the 80s and seeing this house on the cover of the album that I listened to so much. I remember I was living in America. I was going to college, and I was getting really kind of, you know, sentimental for Australia, as you do. You tend to get more patriotic about your country when you're not in it, you know. But I'd never really known this country. I knew it was my birthplace, but I just never knew it. I loved the music. And I love David Bowie and the fact that he just, you know, had that message that he made in the Let's Dance music video. And then these guys had a lot of stuff to say about Indigenous rights. It all makes sense, you know? I just feel like I'm learning a lesson, like the universe is teaching me to open my eyes and open my ears and open my heart and open my whatever it is that perceives energy to feel all of this. I just think this is a classic shot, and I just don't want to leave right here now because this is a magical, magical moment for me. I'm so happy. All right. Goodbye, Midnight Oil House. You've been awesome. It's time for me to hit the road again. Ah! Welcome to Burra.
Stronach Street, then turn left.
Turn left onto Stronach Street. I assume that's here. Yes. Turn left. Burra Showgrounds. Turn left. That's where we're going. We're doing the Showgrounds thing tonight. Once we'd all settled into camp, I decided to take Pixie for a walk and go exploring around Burra. Pixie and I are going to go walk up this big hill to the Burra mine site. Nice thing to do at sunset for our sunset walk today. Check this out. Wow. That's amazing. It used to be a copper mine. That's probably why the water looks so greeny blue. And the old mining structures up on the hill there. There's a museum up there. Isn't that spectacular? It's incredible, isn't it? I'm so glad I walked up this big hill to see this. The open cut. The Burra mine was first worked between 1845 and 1867 as an underground mine to a depth of 183 metres. From 1870 until its closure in 1877, it was worked by the revolutionary open cut method. This was one of the earliest attempts to open cut low-grade metal ores in Australia. Wow. Modern open cut operated between 1971 and 1981. 24,000 tonnes of copper metal was produced from 2 million tonnes of ore. Groundwater has now returned to its natural level at about 50 metre deep in the pit. The greenish colour of the water changes tone during the year. This may be due to the scattering of light caused by the precipitation of minute crystals in the water. Well, there you go. All about the geology. Huh. Interesting. Wow. It is really, really spectacular. Having fun, Pixie? Liking our walk? Right, let's go and see the town mine lookout. That's Burra town over there. That's where we walked from, down the bottom there in that street. And we are beyond, down the hill from this water tank. Feeling on top of the world! Looking at this beautiful little town. We'll drive through tomorrow on our way out because it is really pretty. And anyway, I better get walking back now because we've walked a couple of kilometres, so we've got a couple of kilometres to get back to the caravan.